Your name, title, and affiliation for the record.
Mr. Chair, I'm just going to introduce Ms. Khan first.
Sure, you could do that.
Representative Dave Jaccarino, 87th District. Just want to say hello to this great committee, which I served on for 6 years. So Ms. Khan is going to introduce, Senator Cicarella and I put a bill in for Life on the Line. I towed when I was a tow truck driver from like 18 till maybe 31. It's a really important job, but it's very risky also. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Khan. And I do have to leave in a minute to go to the Pura Commission. Thank you.
My name is Salena Khan. I'm 23 years old from North Haven, Connecticut, a proud graduate of Sacred Heart University, and I'm actually currently pursuing my master's degree in healthcare administration. This is the third time I am standing before you to advocate for a bill that would allow tow trucks to use blue emergency lights when loading vehicles in hazardous locations. I want to begin by saying this clearly. I would not be here for a third time if this issue were not urgent, unresolved, and putting lives at risk every single day. I am here again because tow operators continue to work in deadly conditions and because without action, it is only a matter of time before Connecticut loses another life on the roadside. Tow operators are killed at a staggering rate, 1 every 6 days in the United States. That statistic does not include the countless near-miss incidents, secondary crashes, struck by accidents, or life-altering injuries that occur daily. Tow operators work inches from live traffic, often alone, often at night, often in poor weather, and often without nothing but amber lights, lights that drivers have become conditioned to ignore. Unlike police, fire, or DOT workers, tow operators typically do not have blocking vehicles, lane closures, or additional layers of protection. Yet we are expected to perform dangerous roadside recoveries under the same conditions, sometimes worse, while being offered fewer safety tools. This issue is deeply personal to me. My father owns Khan Towing and Recovery, which services 9 towns across Connecticut, and I am the owner of Life on the Line, a business dedicated to bringing awareness to the dangers tow operators face every day. Nearly 3 years ago, I first came before you to advocate for this bill. I returned again last year, and now I am back for the third time because the danger has not gone away and the risks have only increased. In August 2024, I responded to a call on Route 15 southbound near exit 63 in North Haven, where there is barely a shoulder or breakdown lane. My flatbed could not fully fit on the shoulder. I immediately helped a young stranded woman into my truck to get her out of the harm's way. When I began hooking up her vehicle, I had to lay on the ground in an active travel lane. During that process, my ponytail was run over by passing traffic. That moment could have ended very differently. It illustrates just how thin the line is between doing our job and becoming another statistic. Luck should not be a safety strategy. While Connecticut has not lost a tow operator in the last year, that does not mean the problem has been solved. It means we have been fortunate. In the last 6 years, Connecticut has lost 2 tow operators. Corey Iodice out of Fairfield, a veteran operator who grew up in the industry, was killed on April 22, 2020. Christopher Russell of East Hartford was killed on May 21st, 2022, while selflessly assisting a motorist in North Haven, Connecticut. Both men lost their lives doing exactly what tow operators do every day, putting others first. This year alone, numerous people have lost their lives on Connecticut roadways, a number displayed throughout the state. Distracted and impaired driving continues to rise, making roadside work more dangerous than ever. Tow operators are directly exposed to this growing crisis. What we are asking for is a simple, reasonable, and proven the ability to activate blue emergency lights when loading vehicles in hazardous locations. Amber lights are no longer enough, they blend into traffic and are routinely ignored. Blue lights demand attention. Drivers instinctively slow down and move over when they see them. Several other states already allow this.
I'm sorry, if you can just please summarize. I'm sorry, finish up. Thank you.
No worries. Several other states already allowed this, and it is shown to improve safety. I urge you to consider the lives working on the roadside. Please do not wait for another fatality to make this bill a priority. Pass this legislation, not just for tow operators, but for the safety of everyone who travels Connecticut highways. Our lives are truly on the line. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Senator Cicarella.
Thank you. And thank you for coming up yet again to advocate for your profession. I forget, only 23, very impressive. He started this at 20 years old. I know it's hard to get up here and speak. You did a great job, and I'm truly impressed and honored that you're from my district. It shows that it doesn't matter how old you are. When you're passionate and you advocate, anyone could come up here and voice their concerns and opinions and fight for what they think is right for themselves, their profession, their community. So very impressed, and I'm sure your parents are also very proud. We've been trying to put something forward in this committee. As you said, we had a tragic loss of a tow operator. I watched some of the videos that you post, and it is scary. I mean, it's scary just to get out of the car quickly to see if you have a flat tire or if you have to get something out of the trunk. I could only imagine, when it's dark, you're by yourself, you have to be, laying down to hook up the vehicle. So the work you do doesn't go unnoticed, and it's really necessary without professionals like yourself clearing the roadways for many reasons, public safety too, clearing the thoroughfares for our first responders to get to and from. It's needed, and we need to make sure that we're paying attention to what you're asking for and what you need. We were talking for years about the lights, and we understand lights are a hot topic issue in every space. And every light goes to a specific maybe department or profession. But we have to figure out what we can do to keep you guys safe. And that's why this bill is putting together a group to study this and come back with reasonable and already agreed upon solutions to address the concerns that you, your family, and your other colleagues are very concerned about. So I look forward to working towards that goal. I've been speaking with Representative Dave Yacarino about this since we engaged this conversation over 3 years ago. And I know Representative Yacarino, along with this committee up here, is willing to find that reasonable, common sense solution to make sure that people that are going to work, helping people, could get home safely to their families. So I know that I will be supporting this. I hope my colleagues up here will be as well. And we'll do everything we can to put something forward, and hopefully we can prevent one more accident or tragedy. And all the work and advocacy that you've been doing is not for nothing, and we are going to try to find a solution to this. It's something that we are committed to do. And again, I want to thank you very much for coming out and taking the time. The one thing that I don't think that we really touched on was, and you said the statistics with every 6 days someone loses their life in this profession, but you said there's many injuries, really catastrophic things that happen, and they just don't make the news. With the work that you're doing, and I know that you've been advocating for the lights, but are there other suggestions that you could think of that would help to kind of provide a safer work environment for your colleagues?
Yeah, of course. So first and foremost, the slow down, move over law is an active law, but it is not enforced. I'll be on a scene with, it's a police call, police are actively behind me, and people are not moving over, their truck almost gets hit, we almost get hit, and it's not enforced by any means. That's one measure. Another measure is I have a blue and red light that can go on a cone, so it's not connected to the truck, that I can just activate while loading up a vehicle. They don't permit that. I'm not allowed to use that. They threatened to give me a ticket when I did try and use that. So why can't I use that for a temporary measure that actively works? I post videos all over my social media about how this light does work. I have cones that have lights on them, and I've gotten repercussions of you can't use those. I've gotten kickback. So what is the next step? What is the thing that we can do to create change so none of us are scared to go to work and we could just help people?
And that's what we are going to try to do, because there are laws on the books. And just as you said, we see our firefighters' trucks getting hit, costing our towns money, and firefighters and police officers being injured also while just doing their job. So I think this working group could take a lot of those things into consideration and hopefully will be implemented not only in your profession, but all of the professions that put their life on the line when they're performing their duties in those dangerous thoroughfares. Again, I want to thank you, Representative Iaccarino. Thank you.
I have a question, if you may. Thank you for your kind words, Senator Cicarella. I would suggest, I mentioned it last year, but when the tow truck, the operator, the blue lights are on while they're picking up the vehicle. When they leave, I would not use the blue lights. But I would also suggest, I've done it with our local police, doing a ride-along for a day and a night sometimes. Ride along with a tow truck operator on a day like today that's pouring out or when it's snowing out and see what they have to go through. They're taking cars off the road for the safety of everybody and helping people. I would suggest you all take it 4 or 5 hours or even 3 hours and go with your local operator and see what they do. They're generally always working with local PD or state police. I did it for years. I worked with our state police. It's a team effort, and it just keeps the road safe, and it keeps the operator safe more than anything else. I apologize. I have to go next door. I'm really sorry. Pure. But I really appreciate your time and your consideration.
Thank you, and thank you for
I'm sorry.
your help on this, Representative.
Thank you.
And thank you.
I'll be back.
Representative Canino.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Salena, for coming to testify. As another young person up here, it's always good to see more people, and hopefully you'll be on this side of the bench one day. We'll see. My question is, have we seen this blue light legislation allowing tow trucks to have blue lights in any other states?
Yeah, the surrounding states. So Massachusetts allows it, New York allows it, and numerous other states. But I've mainly looked at their statistics and what they've implemented because it's right next door, it's in our backyard, and they've seen successful increases of people slowing down, moving over, less accidents, less injury to drivers. It's been very useful.
Right. So I believe last I saw there's around 11 states that allow this. So it's not like we're in uncharted territory here. We have clear examples to look at. And to me, it seems like something that's very common sense. So I appreciate your advocacy and look forward to working with you on this.
Thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you.